Bihari Jaya Ram Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Yasoda Nandana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yasoda Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yasoda Nandana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yasoda Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Chirabanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Jaya Yamuna Chirabanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Chirabanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Giri Jaya Yasoda Nandana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yasoda Jaya Yamuna Tirabanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tirabanachari Jaya Yamuna Tirabanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tirabanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nichago Haribo 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 Nichago Haribo Jaga Jaya Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajaka Kacharya Stotra Sata Shishimai Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jaya Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajaka Kacharya Stotra Sata Shishimai Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Brinda Ki His Confounder Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Granta Rashma Bhagavatam Ki Samaveta Bhakta Brinda Ki Nitai Gopiyamanande. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Narayana Namaskritya Narayana Narottama Devam Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nasta Prayeswa Bhadresho Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamas Loke Bhakti Bhavati Nastiki Vede Ramane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tata Hado Adiyante Mandyecha Hari Sabhyata Giyate Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangu Langayate Gri Yakipata Vande Sri Guru Dinatarine Paramananda Madhava Dhamma Prajita Katabota Paramo Nimasham Satan Vedam Vastavam Atavastu Shivadam Tapatayo Molana Sima Bhagavate Mahamani Kritanki Vai Para Ishwara Sadyoridi Abarude Trakitipita Krishna Negama Kappa Kalitam Phalam Sukamukam Dravasam Yutam Pibatam Bhaktam Samalaya Mura Urasika Bhuvibhavaka Yashavashamanayam Krishna Paramapuruse Bhakti Uttapade Punsa Sukha Moa Baya Paha Atojam Brahmasutranam Bharatata Vininaya Gayati Bhasaruposo Vidata Paribimbita Sabhavedeti Saramisi Bhakta Misyate Tarasamita Syati Tashana Yatya Sherati Kochi Krishna Yavasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vasudeva Sudandevam Kansa Chandra Madana Devaki Paramananda Krishna Vande Jagaguru Namamo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Shmati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nevise Sasunya Badi Pashata Disatarine Vanchakapaturubhyascha Kripasundivyevacha Patitana Pavanavebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Go Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 3. Today's text is text number 13, the topic of liberation from the illusory energy. So this chapter is about King Nimi, who wants to find out about the workings of Maya, the workings of the material energy, and especially the manifestation, and then in terms of the withdrawal of the cosmic manifestation, and specifically, what is the part of liberation from Maya? How do one become free from Maya? So this is the basics of this chapter, which Maharaj Nimi is asking, and then Antariksha, who was one of the Nava-Yugendra, so he's giving the answer. So the whole of Maharaj Nimi's question was directed to the Nava-Yugendras, 9 yogis, who were all the sons of Rishabhadev. So today we chant to this text 13. And also today is the disappearance day of Shyamananda Prabhu. So after some time, this discussion, then I will say something about Shyamananda Prabhu. So we can all chant together, text number 13. Vayuna Kritagandhabu Salila Traya Kalpati Salilantadita Rasam Yotishtva Yopakalpati Vayunarita Gandabu Salila Taya Kapati Salilanta Rita Rasam Jyotishthvayo Pakapati Vayunarita Gandabu Salila Toya Kalpati Salilanta Ritarasham Jyotish Tvayo Pakapati. Come please, John. Salila Toya Kalpati Sayo Pakapati. Sayo Pakapati. Vayuna, by the wind, Rita deprived Ganda of its quality of aroma. Bhu, the element earth, Salila Toya Kapate, becomes water. Salilan, water, Tat, by this, the same element wind, Ritarasham, deprived of its quality of taste. Jyotishtwaya Upakapate becomes fire. Translation and purport by the BBT, Disciples of Prabhupada. Deprived of its quality of aroma by the wind, the element earth is transformed into water. And water, deprived of its taste by that same wind, is merged into fire. Purport. Srimad Bhagavatam gives several descriptions of the material creations by which air is expanded from ether, fire from air, water from fire, and earth from water. Now, in the reverse order, the creation is wound up. Thus, earth merges back into the water from which it came, and water similarly merges into fire. So this is the process of reverse. Initially, the creation is there, whereby from one element, another element comes. This is described especially in the third canto by Lord Kapiladev when he was instructing his mother. So he described elaborately the process of creation, how everything originally formed as Pradhan. Pradhan means the combined elements, undifferentiated of material realm, undifferentiated, which means there's no element, there's no earth, water, fire, and all. Everything was just like a big, big lump. This is Pradhan. And then from Pradhan, then there's come Mahatattva. And of course, Mahatattva comes about by the infusion of the energy of the Lord, which are composed of the three gunas, Satagun, Rajagun, and then Tamagun. And then from the composition, from this mixing of this element, the Rajagun, mixing with the Ahankara, first ego, and then we have different, you have the generation of all material. I'm not audible? Is it clear? Okay. So there is the composition, or the manifestation of all material elements, from one to another, to another, to another, to another. And it's especially mentioned that first there is the subtle element, and then from subtle element, there's gross element manifest. From subtle to gross, like that, like that, like that. So this you will find in the third canto Bhagavatam, especially in the later chapters, around the chapter 16, or is it chapter 16 or 26? When Kapila Dev, when he was instructing his mother. But this particular situation here is talking of the reverse, the process of destruction, the process of dissolution of the material universe. This is what Nimi Maharaj, he was very, very much interested in the Maya, how Maya, which is the lost energy, the material energy, how this Maya comes about, and how this Maya is wind up, is removed. So through the descriptions, especially in the previous chapter and also this one, we heard about how after some time there was, when it was time for this material world to be dissolved, there was a big drought. The drought was there for 1 year. The drought was there for 1 year, whereby there was no vegetation, no nothing, just a big drought. And then after that, from the Patalaloka, from his mouth, Sesha produced fire. And from this fire, he burns up everything. The fire of devastation just went everywhere. The fire of devastation. And then, after the fire of devastation, then there's a big deluge, big flood. So much rain is coming, that the drop of each rain is like columns. Rain is coming, and this rain went on for another year or so, whereby the whole universe was flooded. So when the universe is flooded, so obviously that's the devastation of everything. Everyone is submerged except demigods. Some demigods are there, who all of them, they have to transfer themselves to the planet of Brahma, because everywhere is flooded up to the heavenly planet. And then some demigods, so they have to move higher, where the flood does not reach. And then there is the Samvartaka, the big wind, the big head, the Samvartaka, let's say big wind that is just coming to neutralize everything. So as I explained in this verse here, so when this Samvartaka wind is blowing, then the earth is deprived of its quality. And the quality of the earth is aroma, gandha. That's the quality of the earth. So, and when the earth is deprived of its quality, then it basically becomes nothing. It becomes devoid of the key ingredient, and then the earth merges into water. Water is the next element. I said, Bumi apple, what's that? Bumi apple, no value, come and nobody ever check. Bumi apple. Apple means water. Bumi apple, no value, come and nobody ever. This is the 8 elements that Lord Krishna described. So first there's earth, then there's water, then there's air, and then there's fire, and then there is the ether, the sky. So Bumi apple, no value, like that. So these are the elements of the material world. So now, just as Nimi Maharaj is asking this question about the way how Maya works, material energy, we find Markandeya Rishi, he was similarly interested, he was curious to find out the workings of material energy. So Markandeya Rishi, he was meditating upon the Lord, and he wanted to find out the workings of Maya. First of all, he was one that I don't think you want to see how this energy works, how this material energy works. But Markandeya Rishi was very, very much interested. So he was shown the Maya, he was shown. It's nicely described. I think it's in the 12th canto that you'll find this description of Markandeya Rishi. You'll find it in the 12th canto. So this question of Maya, which in this chapter is describing the universal dissolution of how the universe dissolve. So because everything is systematic, just like the creation is systematic from one to another, similarly also the reverse of creation is also systematic. It's like in the creation, one element evolves into another element. One element evolves into another element. Similarly, into dissolution, one element merges into the next element. For example, from ether, the sky, then there's the sorrow aspect, which is the sun element. It comes, then there is a fire, there's a wind, and then from the wind, it evolves into fire, and then fire evolves into, into water, and the water evolves into earth, like that. First, there's the sorrow aspect, and then there is the gross aspect. But similarly, also, the reverse of that is being described here. So when the Samvantaka wind is blowing, then it takes away the gandha, the smell of the earth. The smell is the key ingredient, the key quality of the earth. And when this smell is taken away through the blowing of the wind, then the earth loses its key element, and then it becomes merged into the next one, which is become merged into fire. So this is being described here, Vayura Ita Gandha Bo Salila Toya Kapate. So it merges, it becomes fit to merge into water. So the I'd mentioned that the creation proceeds from sorrow to growth, but dissolution proceeds from growth back to subtle. From growth to subtle, that's how dissolution proceeds. So this is how the Bhagavatam describes this: ether, air, fire, water, and earth. And at dissolution, the same process is wound up, In reverse, earth merges into water, and water into fire. So which means it's not merely cosmological. So because King Nimi, he asked me about the Maya because he feared becoming captured by it. Because Maya is a very strong energy. Krishna said, Mama Maya Durachaya. My Maya is very, very difficult to overcome. But how do you overcome Maya? Maya cannot be overcome by our own strength. Our own strength, we can't overcome Maya. But Krishna said, Mam evaje was a prapadyante, Maya vetantarantite. For one who has surrendered unto me can cross over into Maya. Maya is Krishna's energy. So Maya is Krishna's energy, and Maya is meant to trap all the living entities in this material world. Maya traps everyone in the material world because the living entities, they desire to enjoy separately from the Lord. They want to be independent Lord. So the back is turned towards Krishna, and then the Maya Devi captures the living entity. And then the result of that, of course, is samsara, rolling in the ocean of materialistic existence. So getting free from Maya is not an easy thing. It's practically impossible to become free from Maya because Maya is Krishna's energy. So how can you be free from it? But when Maya captures you, you have nothing. You become powerless. So a person who won't become Krishna devotee, he surrenders unto Krishna. That my dear Lord, it's only by your mercy can I be free from this entrapment of Maya. Nothing else. So in the word-by-word analysis of this verse, that Vayuna, by the wind, we're talking of this Samvataka Vayu, this wind, whereby which become the key element, the key force of the devastation. Because when this wind is blowing, very powerful wind is blowing, so it takes away everything. It takes away the strength, the key ingredient of the earth, then takes away the key ingredient of the water. So the earth, its ingredient is smell, gandha, and then the water, the key ingredient is rasa, taste. That's the key ingredient of the water. And then the fire, the key ingredient is form. Form is the key ingredient of fire. And then the hair, the key ingredient is touch. That's the key ingredient of the touch. And then, of course, the sky, the ether, the key ingredient is sand. So through by the blowing of this Samvataka wind, each ingredient is taken away. Once ingredient is taken away, then they all merge, each of the elements, earth, water, fire, air, etc. So they all merge into their original causes. They all merge into their original causal form. Because the source of earth is water. And the source of water is fire. The source of fire is hair. And the source of hair is ether. So by the blowing of this wind, they all merge back into there because their key ingredient is taken away, so they all merge back into their cause. And all this merging, it goes all the way into reaches, then passes the sorrow element, like mind, intelligence, ego, until it goes back to the Mahatattva, and then Mahatattva merge back into Pradhan. So in this way, we have the complete dissolution of the universe. Lord Krishna said that Bhuta Bhuta Praliyate, Bhuta Bhuta Praliyate, all things are coming and going. Which is basically telling us that we should not be enamored by what this material world have to offer us, because whatever we see in the material world, none of them have any independent existence. They are there for temporary situation, and after some time, they are again withdraw. So in the Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 26, text 49, Kapila Dev instructed his mother. He said, Parasya disyate dharmo, iya parasmi samamvayat, ato viseso bhavanam, bhuna evo palakshate. Since the cause exists in its effect as well, the characteristics of the former are observed in the latter. That is why the peculiarities of all the elements exist in the earth alone. I just read Prabhupada's purport here. Prabhupada said, sound is the cause of the sky. Sky is the cause of the hair. Hair is the cause of fire. Fire is the cause of water. And water is the cause of earth. In the sky, there is only sound. In the hair, there are sound and touch. In the fire, there are sound, touch, and form. In water, there are sound, touch, form, and taste. And in the earth, there are sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. Therefore, earth is the reservoir of all the qualities of the other elements. Earth is the sum total of all other elements. The earth has all 5 qualities of the elements. Water has 4 qualities. Fire has 3. Air has 2. And the skies has only 1 quality, sun. So this is it's just pointing out the generation of individual elements. Even though each of the elements have their particular key ingredient, key qualities, but still, because they are coming from the previous element, whatever ingredient is there in the previous element is also there in the subsequent one. So within the earth, we have sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. And smell is the key ingredient of the earth. But the reverse of this is that when the dissolution starts taking place, then these key ingredients are being taken away. All these key ingredients. So this is what is being described. So in Bhagavatam, it lists the ingredients, whereby the qualities of the causes are present in the effect, and earth contains the peculiarities of all the elements. So now, we mention here that during creation, each later element becomes more concrete by adding one more quality. But during dissolution, each gross element loses its added quality and becomes indistinguishable from the prior element. So, which means that because the earth element, it loses its key quality, in this case, which is the smell, through the blowing of this wind. So therefore, it becomes like nothing. It becomes like nothing because it loses its key ingredient. So therefore, it merges. So the water takes over. The water takes over the earth. So this has just been moved again repeatedly. So the seven-taka jewel, the seven-taka, the wind is like the key energy that takes away all these key ingredients. Now, Srila Jiva Goswami, he explained in the Krama Sandarbha, he said the wind here is connected with the outer covering or the elements. He notes that hardness or solidity is a special form of touch and therefore belongs to the field of air quality. Thus, as earth, the final solution is withdrawn, the element returns into its causal principle. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, so he gives a kind of larger structure here. He said that at annihilation, earth, water, fire, air, and ether merge into false ego in ignorance. Senses and intelligence merge into false ego in passion. Mind and demigods merge into false ego in goodness. False ego merges into Mahatattva, and Mahatattva into Pradhan, or manifest Prakriti. So the purport specifically explains that each gross element is wound up when its distinguishing guna vishesh, or unique quality, is removed. So even though it's kind of a technical point, but it just pointed to us how whatever we see in this material world is not permanent. Now, that doesn't mean that the material element is false, or material energy is false. As my body, they will say that the material energy is false. As they say, Jagan Mithya, Brahma Satya, that material energy is false. But that is not the situation. Material energy is not false, but it is temporary. It is there. Bhutu praliyate, it manifests for some time, stay for some time, and then goes back to the original source. So the material energy is not false, but it is temporary. That's something that we have to understand. So, and if one is able to understand the workings of the material energy, the analytical differences of each element, and how each element is connected together, and how each element dissolves from one another, or how one element merges into the previous one. If one is able to understand this, then the process of liberation can begin. The process of liberation can begin. So this is the whole idea of Sankhya philosophy. The Sankhya philosophy is to make us understand the characteristics of this material nature, the characteristics of material nature, the separation, and then the amalgamation, to understand this, and how the jiva can eventually get free from the, get freedom from material energy, get freedom from Maya. But that's possible, as I said earlier, if one surrenders unto Krishna. If one surrenders unto Krishna, that's possible. All right, without surrendering, it's not possible. Because Maya is Krishna's energy. So which means Maya is strong. On our own, we can never defeat Maya. But we become free from the influence of Maya if we surrender unto the Lord. We become free from the Maya's influence. So this description is going on. Now, today, being the disappearance day of Srila Shamananda Prabhu, I'll just say something very briefly. Shamananda Prabhu was a very great devotee. Almost 500 years ago, Shamananda Prabhu, originally from West Bengal, it was said that he was born in West Bengal in the town of Bahadurpura. You know that town, Bahadurpura? Okay, so I must know. So Shamananda, before he was born, his parents, they had problems. The problem was that they had so many children, but the children, they always die. The children always constantly die whenever they give birth to children. So when Shamananda was born, because they were unsure of him, they were unsure if he's going to stay or not. So they gave him the name Duki, sad. Just imagine, you gave birth to a child, and then you name your child Duki. Normally it's supposed to be Suki. Suki means happiness, but he gave the name Duki, sadness, because they all know what is, what is sad. But they specifically gave this name just to avoid future calamity. That's why they gave this name Duki. So later, Shamananda, Duki, that he became Shamananda later on. So Duki, he went to Ambika Kana, and there he took initiation from a disciple of Guridas Pandit. So Rida Chaitanya, Rida Chaitanya. Rida Chaitanya was the name of his guru. And then he was given the name Krishnadas. So even though he was given the name Krishnadas, that he was known as Duki Krishnadas, because he has his original name is Duki, and when he was initiated as Krishnadas, he was named as Duki Krishnadas. So eventually he came to Vrindavan, and when he came to Vrindavan, he was under the tutelage of Srila Jiva Goswami, because Srila Jiva Goswami we give training to so many persons. So he became a student of Srila Jiva Goswami, and then Srila Jiva Goswami, he had two other main students. In this case, Srinivas and also Narottam Das. So Srinivas, Narottam Das, and then Shamananda. So they became three principal disciples of Srila Jiva Goswami. So Srila Jiva Goswami was giving them training, and they all became very experts in the science of Krishna consciousness. They all became very thoroughly learned. And when they became thoroughly learned, so three of them, they were given title. So Duki Krishnadas was given the title Shamananda Prabhu, was given the name Shamananda Prabhu, while Srinivas was given the title of Acharya, so he became Srinivas Acharya, and Narottam Das was given the title Thakur Mahashaya, so he became known as Narottam Das Thakur. So these three personalities, they They were given training. And then, as described in the Bhakti Ratnaka and other books, so, and then Jiva Goswami and all the Goswamis in Vrindavan, they wanted to send the books of the Acharyas, so many books like the Six Goswami, Rup Sanatan, all the books which have been written by the Goswamis, they wanted to send these books to Bengal to go and distribute among the Vaishnavas. So these three persons, Shamananda, Narottam, and Srinivas, they departed from Vrindavan. They took in a cartload of books. They took all these writings of the Goswamis in order to go and distribute to the Vaishnavas. So basically, they were the original book distributors, these three persons. But when they were going, they came across one village. I forgot the name of the village. And that village, the king of that town, his name is Bira Ambir. That's the king of that town. And this king, he had an astrologer. And this astrologer told him that there are three personalities coming. They are passing through your village, three persons. And they are in possession of great wealth. Great wealth. So, which means this Vaishnava, they were traveling with all these valuable jewels, which is the priceless jewels of the Vaishnava writing. So the astrologer said they were in possession of great jewels. So the king, of course, obviously he was greedy, because he was also the king of the dacoits. So he sent his men to go and rob these Vaishnavas, to go and rob them. So when they were sleeping at night, so the dacoits, they came and took this cart, this priceless jewels. So when the Vaishnavas, when they woke up in the morning, they found that everything was gone. So, and then among the three of them, they decided that what to do. So Srinivas, he told Narottam Das Thakur to go to Bengal, and I told Shamananda Prabhu to go to Orissa. And while he himself will stay in this village. But ultimately, he was able to recover all these writings. Because when the king, when he saw these cards, when he touches them, he became very, very purified. And then he became a disciple of Srinivas in Acharya. So one time, back in Vrindavan, so the Shamananda, he had come back to Vrindavan. And when he was in Vrindavan, so one time he was sweeping the ground in Sevakunj. And as he was sweeping the ground in Sevakunj, he found an ankle bell, a nipple. He found an ankle bell. So he took this ankle bell, but this ankle bell was not an ordinary ankle bell. Actually belonged to Srimati Radharani herself, which this bell, it fell down during the rasa dance. Because every day, Lord Krishna will have rasa dance with the gopis. So our ankle bell had fallen down, and then so Shamananda, he picked up this ankle bell, and he was so much like mystified by it, so he touches it to his forehead, and when he touches it to his head, and then there's a special mark that came upon his head. Special mark came upon his head. And then when the special mark came upon his head, he became like a permanent tilak, which even though it had to be sick, so a permanent tilak was imprinted on his forehead. So initially, when Srila Jiva Goswami saw this, he asked him that, what is this? What is this mark on your forehead? And then he explained what had happened. And then when the Shrimati, the servant, the friends of Radharani, they came to him that he should return this ankle belt to them so that he can give it to Shrimati Radharani. But he said that no, I will return this ankle belt to the actual owner. I will return the ankle belt to the actual owner. But being a great advanced devotee, so Shrimati Radharani actually appeared before him, and then he gave back this ankle belt, and Shrimati Radharani was very, very pleased with him. Now there are some few variations in this story. Some say that he found this ankle belt in a pond somewhere. Some narration says that he found the ankle belt in a pond, and that it was Radharani herself who put this bell onto the head of Shamananda. So some narrations says that, but nonetheless, so Shrimati Radharani was very, very merciful towards him, and then she gave him a deity of Shamasunda, Krishna deity, small deity of Shamasunda that she gave to Shamananda. And this deity of Shamasunda is, as they say, it's actually currently in Radha Shamasunda temple. The big deity there now, this deity was installed by Baladi Vidyabhushan. But the original deity that was given to Shamananda by Shrimati Radharani herself was a small one, and this is there in the Radha Shamasunda temple as a pratibha deity. So we always remember this great Vaishnava today, and by such remembrance and by describing some of their activities, we get benefited, because it enables us to be able to develop, Sudha Bhakti, pure Bhakti, by remembrance of this great Vaishnava, remembering them and discuss some of their activities. So we get great benefit from such remembrance and from such descriptions. If you read a book like Bhakti-Ratnaka, you'll find many of these wonderful stories of all these great Vaishnavas, especially Shamananda Prabhu, Srinivasa Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, and all that. You will find it. So I will stop here. If anybody has any question or comments, you can please, add or say or ask. Hare Krishna. Yes, Shamananda Prabhu ki. Hare Krishna. So anything? Anybody want to add something? Yeah. And Sangataka Prabhu, since you're from there, maybe you can tell us something about Shamananda Prabhu. Okay, you first, and then you first. No. Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Prabhu, I have a question in regards to, it's from the same chapter but from the previous class. Is that okay? It's from the same chapter but from the previous classes.
This Bhagavatam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's ongoing, same chapter being described here. Yeah.
So Prabhu was saying that one of the 24 elements, one of them is Jiva, which is consciousness.
Yeah.
So my question is that consciousness that Krishna talks about, that is the supreme consciousness of everything? Or is person feels separate with the ascendant. So, which consciousness is the chitta in relation to the supreme consciousness which is Krishna?
Well, the chitta, the earth, because in the Sankhya analysis, there are 24 elements. In terms of from gross to subtle, and there are 24 elements which are described in the Bhagavatam. And then, so obviously, actually consciousness is that defining, it's actually referring to the individual, it's the soul itself, individual soul, that individual consciousness is. And of course, the supreme consciousness, of course, is Krishna. The Paramatma is the supreme. So, and Paramatma is not subject to material thing. It's not. Paramatma is always different. It's God. It's the expansion of God. Is Paramatma, who is in the heart of all living entities. Is there. Is in the heart of all living entities. Is the witness. Is the witness of all our activities. So the chitta. Now, the chitta heart is not the same as, because consciousness is our core being. The heart is material elements. It's not, but the consciousness is subtle, which is the fundamental aspect of living entity, that consciousness. So, which means we are conscious being jiva, we are conscious by nature. But we are supposed to be conscious of Krishna, not be conscious of Maya. It's one of the two. So normally either we are conscious of Krishna or we are conscious of Maya. So being the material environment, we are conscious of Maya, and that's why we are going from one body to another body. But if you become conscious of Krishna, then you can traverse the ocean of nations. If you become conscious of Krishna. So consciousness, so individual consciousness is there, and there's the supreme consciousness. His individual consciousness is Jiva, and the supreme consciousness is Paramatma or Bhagavan, one of the two. Okay. Yeah, Prabhu, you wanted to?
Hare Krishna. I don't have question, but as you order, add something on Shamananda Prabhu's life.
Yeah.
As you already explained, his parents give his name to Dukhi.
Yeah.
So later on when he come to Ambika Kalna, then Gauridas Pandit give his name to Dukhi Krishnadas.
Yeah.
So once in occasion of Gaur Purnima festival, Gauridas Pandit was out of home, out of station, but Dukhi Krishnadas was inviting Vaishnavas for celebrating this Gaur Purnima festival. So big way. So Gauridas Pandit was not here.
Mas Gauridas is a disciple of Gauridas Pandit. A disciple of Gauridas Pandit. Hridaya Chaitanya. That was his guru.
Yes. Now, his name was then later on Hridaya Chaitanya, because when Gauridas Pandit came night before, day before he came, he saw this such a big arrangement, he is celebrating Gaur Purnima without asking him. So he angry with him and he kicked him out from the temple. So next to Gauridas Pandit's house, there is one place called, next to his house. So he told him to get out from here, take all these things what you collect for the festivals. So all the rice, dal, whatever he was collecting, he take everything, and he was celebrating program there next to his house. So then when Gauridas Pandit went to offer the bhoga to Gaur Nitai, one non-different from the Gaur Nitai. So he saw the Gaur Nitai is not there in the altar.
Yeah.
So he went to the terrace, he saw the Gaur Nitai where Dukhi Krishnadas is celebrating Gaur Purnima festival. So they are dancing there. Gaur Nitai is there. So Gauridas Pandit take the stick and went to that place. So Nityananda Prabhu was escaped, but Mahaprabhu, he was not get chance to escape from there. So he entered to Dukhi Krishnadas' heart, Hridaya. So Gauridas Pandit saw that. After that he gave his name to Hriday Chaitanya. Then he again, Hriday Chaitanya, when he was eager to come to Vrindavan, then Gauridas Pandit sent him to Vrindavan. Then he came and met to Jiva Goswami and with Samananda Prabhu and Samananda and Narottam Das Thakur and Srinivas Acharya. They all three together was studying with the Jiva Goswami. So just a brief. Thanks. Hare Krishna.
So it's always good. Anyway, thank you very much. This is after 9 o'clock. Jai Grantrashmi Bhagavatam ki, Srila Shimananda Prabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gopi Manande. Hare Krishna.
Ishwara Prabhu ki.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.